Seahawks fans, I need your help. Give me a follow on the IG at Tyler Jones Live, and here is the offer I will make to you. The first 10 people that follow me and like my last photo, you will get a follow back on Instagram. Here's the last photo I posted. Who's that good-looking guy? Oh, yeah, that's me. Go to IG at Tyler Jones Live. Go like that photo and follow me, and I will follow you back. And let's see who gets there first. Who is going to be the first 10 people to do so? Check it out. We'll get started with this edition of Seattle Seahawks Today. Some big changes on the horizon for your Seattle Seahawks as they gear up for week number 9 in the National Football League, as we are just at about the halfway point of the season. On this edition of Seattle Seahawks Today, we're going to break down some things that the Seahawks are going to be doing differently this week. Let's start with the corner position for Seattle, as according to Mike Macdonald, they could be replacing Tre Brown with Josh Jobe in the starting lineup, with Tre Brown returning from injury. Mike Macdonald said that Jobe is competing for Brown's starting spot and that he could potentially take the job away from Tre Brown. If you recall, Tre Brown did not play this past week against the Buffalo Bills as he was coming back from injury, and it seemed kind of odd because he did practice on Friday, but he didn't practice on Wednesday and Thursday. And Mike Macdonald said that because he didn't practice on Wednesday and Thursday was the reason that he was ultimately held out and did not play on Sunday, which seemed kind of odd. Why would you practice him Friday then if he wasn't going to play Sunday? But I digress. Mike Macdonald had this to say on Tre Brown. Tre was ready to go, but he hadn't practiced as much, so we're going to work through who's starting at corner moving forward, but we should have Tre available next week. Meanwhile, in his place, Josh Jobe getting his second start after being elevated from the practice squad, had a pretty good showing against the Buffalo Bills, as he was the first player in the entire National Football League to pick off Josh Allen this season, had his first career interception. He allowed 3 receptions, gave up 81 total yards off of 5 targets. And you think about this, when it comes to Jobe, he has 1 practice squad elevation remaining. So you would think if the Seahawks are liking what they're seeing from Josh Jobe, that he would get elevated to the active roster full-time sooner than later. When you compare the statistics between the two, Josh Jobe has held his own compared to Tre Brown in the 2 games he's played, with 13 total tackles compared to 19 from Tre Brown in the 6 games he's played. He's had more pass breakups with 3 compared to Brown, who's got 1. He's got the interception as well, so all the numbers favor Josh Jobe so far through the 2 games he's played. Now, honestly, when I look at this idea of Jobe potentially replacing Tre Brown here, I am of the belief, I think it's biblical, iron sharpens iron. Competition makes everyone better. But I'm not quite ready to just give up on Tre Brown just yet. I like the idea of these guys competing for this position. I'm not ready to just say, yeah, you know what, Tre Brown, he's not that guy. Let's go ahead and just trade him at the trade deadline, try to get something out of him. We've seen Tre Brown have his moments and play as a quality starter in this league in the past. And Josh Jobe, to his credit, has played fairly well the last couple weeks, but let's see how this all plays out. Let's see these guys compete and the better man win the job one way or the other. I'm not ready to just hand it over completely to Josh Jobe. Let's let this thing play itself out and see who earns the job and earns more playing time. Who would you start between these two? Would you go with Tre Brown or would you go with Josh Jobe? If it were up to you, which direction do you lean? Type Tre for Tre Brown, type Jobe for Josh Jobe. Let us know in the comments section below. Folks, we are closing in on 59,000 subscribers here on Seattle Seahawks Today. We're less than 300 away from reaching that next milestone. For the latest happenings on your favorite team all season long, as we bring you our weekly live shows on Wednesdays, our watch parties every game day, daily news and rumors, sometimes 2 and 3 videos a day. We're also bringing you our breaking news. All of it is right here on Seattle Seahawks Today. If you're a diehard Seahawks fan, this is the channel for you. You ain't alive, you ain't subscribed. You got to subscribe now. YouTube.com/SeahawksTV. Help us reach our next milestone. You'll be glad you did. Another change for Seattle is the expectation of getting DK Metcalf back. And it's not just getting DK back on the football field, but this also changes what the offense looks like, comparably speaking to what we saw a week ago. Macdonald, on his radio show on Seattle Sports, gave this update on DK on Monday, saying, without having talked to medical yet, I'm obviously optimistic DK comes back. Would love to have him back, but I don't know where he's at right now, coming off the end of the week. And you think about this. DK not even playing a single snap this past week. He proved his worth to this Seattle Seahawks team of what he brings to the table, as the Seahawks virtually had no vertical passing threat whatsoever without DK Metcalf on the football field. Now, I know some of you are going to say that maybe DK isn't worth $30+ million like the market is commanding to wide receivers in the league today. And I understand where you're coming from. But I think he is to this Seahawks team with the night and day difference we saw with this offense with him compared to without him. A little give me that stat for you. Think about this, folks. The Seahawks so far this season have had 20 explosive pass plays. Now, what is an explosive pass play? That's a pass play of 20 yards or more. They had only one this past week. That was courtesy of A.J. Barner at the tight end position. That was all that they could do. So far, of those 20 explosive pass plays this season, DK's got 11 of them, over half. And before the injury, he was on track to have one of, if not the best seasons in his entire career at this point, as he was fourth in the NFL in receiving yards going into this past week with 568. He's had 3 touchdowns, 35 targets. It's been a record-setting year for DK as he set the franchise record for most 50-plus receiving yard touchdowns in franchise history. He also set the franchise record for most consecutive 100-yard receiving games with 3. More DK, it's real simple, folks, means more explosive plays. And without DK out there, it changes this offense entirely. I don't think the Seahawks have a choice but to extend DK Metcalf when that time comes. He's got 1 year remaining after this year, and I expect him to be in Seattle for a very long time. Should the Seahawks extend DK Metcalf? I think it's an easy decision. What do you guys think? Type Y for yes, in for no. Your chance to be John Schneider, and let us know how you feel. Today's show is sponsored by Game Time. Game Time is the place to go for the best seats, the lowest prices guaranteed. Whether you're looking for tickets to sporting events, concerts, theater productions, comedy shows, and more, Game Time has got you covered. Maybe you want to go to the Seahawks-Rams game this weekend. Well, you're in luck because Game Time's got those tickets too. You choose the event you want to go to. They got the prices listed. You choose your seat, see if you like that seat or not. Get the visual with their seat views. And then you're checking out with Apple Pay, Google Pay, Venmo, all the major credit card providers. They make it fast, simple, and easy. And here's the thing with Game Time, folks. The prices, they drop the closer it gets to game time. So maybe you're on the fence. Maybe you're waiting on the old girlfriend to decide if she wants a day with the girls or if she wants to go with you to the football game. Well, if you had to make that last-minute decision, you can do so easily with Game Time. You can get your tickets just like that within a matter of moments. And those prices going down the closer it gets, you'll potentially save some money before kickoff there. Terms apply, folks, as we got this offer that we're bringing you just for our Seahawks Today viewers. If you use the promo code ChatSports, we will give you $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply, first purchase only for $20 off with the promo code ChatSports. Download Game Time today. What time is it? Game Time. The link is in the comments and the description of today's video. Last on our changes for the Seahawks, let's talk about Ernest Jones IV, the newest member of the Seattle Seahawks. And his role should be expanding even further here in his second week with the Seattle Seahawks. And what we saw last week, the Seahawks made a change when it came to the linebacking unit they moved Terrell Dodson from the Mike linebacker to the weak side linebacker, which is his more natural position. That's what he played in Buffalo with Ernest Jones at the Mike linebacker spot. But Dodson still kept the green dot duties, and that's not expected to change there. But now you go forward from here. And typically speaking, what happens when you have these midseason additions at the before the trade deadline, whether it's a big trade or free agent signing, it takes a while to get acclimated because you're playing catch-up. I'll be honest, I don't even know how much of the playbook Ernest Jones IV really even knew going into last week's game, but he still played 100% of the snaps. Now we are into the second week of Ernest Jones IV here, and I think the training wheels are off. The gloves are off, as they say, for Ernest Jones. There should be no holding him back whatsoever this week in what he does in this Seahawks defense, and should take a huge step forward. You look at the numbers, what Ernest Jones has done so far this year. It doesn't really tell the full story, but he is a tackling machine. 59 tackles, 3 TFLs, 2 pass breakups, and 1 QB hit. And he had an impressive debut. Despite playing catch-up on everything this past week, he led the Seahawks in tackles with 15, including 7 solo tackles and 8 assisted tackles. So with that in mind, another week in, to me, I think that Ernest Jones is going to be even better this upcoming week and be a huge difference for this Seahawks team. So those changes, I think, are huge for this Seahawks team. Taking on this LA Rams squad, those 3 things we talked about. Will it be enough to beat the Rams? We'll see. But I like where this team is headed to refocus after that awful loss to Buffalo on Sunday. What do you think of the addition of Ernest Jones IV, by the way? How would you grade it? A, B, C, D, or F? I love the move. I'm going with an A. Give me your grade in the comment section. Follow me on IG at Tyler Jones Live for more Seahawks coverage beyond just what you see here on the show. At Tyler Jones Live, you can find me there. I'm Tyler Jones. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.